Are you ready for another glorious siege battle? Because that's exactly what we have here today. This is Medieval Kingdoms Total War 1212 AD, a 3 vs 3 siege battle. And I had to make the opening scene about this officer. I had to show you this officer right at the start because I just think he looks badass. I mean, look at the beard. Look at the armor, right? He's got a mace. He's got the classic shield here. Man, he is just decked out, ready to go. He is a hardened veteran. He has seen many battles. And look at the face here. Look at the expression. If looks could kill, he would be killing every single man inside that city. Oh man, it just looks like he's so angry. He's just got his battle face on. He is ready to go. I love the Imperial Knights of the Holy Roman Empire. They look fantastic. It's just a bunch of hardened veterans who've seen countless battles, and they're ready to kill the enemy. So yeah, they look awesome. I love the Holy Roman Empire. So yeah, this, like I said, a 3 vs 3. We got a pretty cool, like, 2-layered settlement here. There is a bridge you can use. You can't spawn over here, but you can use some land bridges to move over and use this bridge to attack the enemy from the rear, surprise attack where they least expect it. So real quick before we dive into this battle, I want to give a huge shout out to the defenders in this one. All the players here were my subs. Now I was streaming this live on my Facebook page, and they were in my Discord. Now if you guys want to join me in live battles, you just got to join my Discord and wait in the stream waiting lobby, and I'll try to get as many players in as possible. But what was really cool about these guys, first off, they were really nice, really supportive, and that just made my day. Also, I will go in and out of the chat server, not during the battle, but before and after. And I went into the chat server after the battle to talk about the battle, and they were just so into it. They were like, oh, it was so epic when you did that, and then we did this, and we thought we had you there. We thought it was over here. It was just like they were so pumped up about the battle that we just fought, and it was like the most refreshing thing that I've experienced doing YouTube. It motivated me more than ever to get more videos out, stream for longer hours. It was awesome, and it's just really cool to be able to talk with you guys not in person, but through a voice chat. It's just, I was gonna say talk to you guys in person, but I was like, no, I can't quite do that. But yeah, the voice chat is just awesome. The Discord. So guys, join my Discord. It's really cool. It's just awesome to talk with you guys, play with you guys, and get excited about some cool battles. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there, before we got into this fight here. So let's go ahead and look at the army factions. I don't really do comps anymore because I feel like most of the armies are pretty standard here. But yeah, so my army, like I said, the Holy Roman Empire. I've got a nice mix of swords, infantry, archers. Over here we have Mr. Brunswick. He is leading England, the mighty, powerful English. I think he's bringing he's bringing Welsh longbowmen. Very cool. And then over here we have the Kingdom of Jerusalem led by Nico. And this is one of my favorite factions just because the units look so awesome. They got the Eastern garb on, they have to deal with the heat of near Jerusalem, the Middle East there. So they just look awesome. Very, very cool. Very intimidating. So who are we taking on? Well, we have also got some very powerful factions defending. We do have the Kingdom of France. France, very, very strong faction. Always at it against the English, so it's great to see a rivalry there. We also have Kiev, which is a solid faction. They have very, very good archers, which are pretty nasty. And then the final faction is the Flemish. We have the Flemish here, ready to defend mostly against me. So the County of Flanders. So very cool. Those are the factions. We'll go ahead and do normal speed here. I also want to point out here that I am defending this little land bridge. I do have one unit of pikes. I've got my my mounted knights here, which this officer looks exactly like the one who's dismounted. Oh man. And is this his twin brother? Look at this. Man, there's a lot of these badass looking guys. Anyways, they're defending this because I saw, now I don't know if the enemy noticed that I saw these French knights over here, but I saw them waiting. And I was not going to let them just pass by and sneak behind our forces here. Not going to happen. But my artillery knocked down some arrow towers, so I feel like it's safe to move in. And I think we've all agreed to attack this settlement. Now, if you look at their defenses over here, they are putting nothing up here. Nothing against Brunswick, which is really good for us because I always have the mentality of defending the outer walls because you get the support of the arrow towers, and you know, the arrow towers in Attila can do a lot of damage, so I think it's always worth fighting for. But they've actually taken a more passive approach, or more of a defensive approach to their defense, by falling back and holding only certain choke points, and I assume it's going to be supported by crossbows and skirmishers. So we'll see if that works out for them. Now, I was hoping my opponent would follow his allies in the same type of strategy and like, yeah, let me take the walls. With the Flemish, he's got his men-at-arms ready to go, and he's not going to give up this wall so easily. So yeah, moving up the siege towers. They got quite a distance to go, and a lot of troops over here as well. We got 4 archers, Flemish bowmen you got to look out for. He's got some, let's see, some axemen here. Brotherhood of St. George, that's an awesome unit. So yeah, he's got a lot of units over here just waiting in reserve. So I have a feeling that this is going to be a hard-fought battle for these walls. Now, the good news is that Brunswick will have nothing over here. So here we go. Here they come charging out. So nothing to worry about over here. He's got his early period foot knights. The good news is that he can now support me on my fight because he doesn't have to fight anyone here. Now, he does have to push through some choke points, but he can send troops through this way and kind of help join the fight over here. Now, my siege towers, I think I told them to move up, but not attached to the walls. So that was my mistake there. It's not like I'm losing a lot of troops, though. I miss Rome, too, where there's like a ballista crew, a scorpion crew up here. That would be so nice. But there we go. My troops have now scaled the walls. Let's go ahead and look at Nico's side. Actually, when I was playing this live, which, by the way, guys, you can always watch my battles live on my Facebook page. That's where they're saved. I didn't really get a chance to look at Nico's side, and it seems like he had a pretty intense fight over here as well. So I'll be sure to check out his fight as much as I can. Let's go back over here where we're finally going to get our first charge between infantry. It's getting a little laggy here. That's all right. There we go. They're just setting up. Look at this guy's like, wait, are we charging? No, I'm going to reform here. Okay, now we charge it. Let's go. Yeah. So we charge into the shield wall. Look at that. I love the fighting. Archers are now opening fire, trying to weaken their shield wall, but I don't know if it's a good idea to use a lot of arrows on a shield wall. It's going to be tough to kill these guys. Let's see if we can soften them up a little bit. No, see, every single arrow. These are just some heavily armored bastards here. I just can't get any kills on these guys. But I am forming up here a little bit. Now I'm going to charge in. And there we go. I'm probably going to cease fire there so I don't shoot my own men. But yeah, nice little brawl going on for these parts of the wall. And now I've got the troops over here. These are my sergeants, high period. And very wisely, the Flemish are sending in some dismounted knights to prevent his men holding the wall to get outflanked. But I send in 2 units of sergeants, 1 early, 1 high period. And I'm going to try to break these guys as quickly as possible. So let's go ahead and go over to the other side where, well, Brunswick here is also charged in some foot knights against some dismounted Flemish knights. It's going to be a tough fight. But, you know, Brunswick has, you know, a lot of reserves. He's fine. He's going to be able to send in more troops against these Flemish knights. Yeah, the County of Flanders definitely putting up a tough fight for the outer walls. And so is Kiev. They're also putting up a solid fight. And we have Nico charging in his order swordsman, trying to, scare off some guard here. Is this the general? That is the general. So nice aggressive use of the general there. But yeah, Nico's he's also, having to fight for these walls. An epic battle between these knights here. So you can see the battle is very chaotic. There we go. The order swordsman charge in to the Smurd infantry. Smurd? Is that right? Smurd infantry? They look like a light infantry. Nice little flanking maneuver by the French. Sending in some swordsmen. But Nico should have reserves to counterflank that flank. More Order swordsmen going into the fray. So they look really cool. Let's go ahead and go back over to the other side and see how this is progressing. You can see I'm already losing troops. Unfortunately, that was the unit that charged this side, and they just got peppered down by the enemy archers. It was disgusting. Very disgusting. But thankfully, these troops are still in the fight, and they've just got to stay alive until we can get reinforcements over here. Now, what I'm doing at this point is that my archers... I told them to set up at this angle to try to fire at the knights who are holding back my sergeants. So you can see, let's see if they're landing any of these hits. You can see some blood on the ground, and that causes them to break, or not break, but retreat out of that fight, which is really cool. Now, another reason why I love this battle, I forgot to mention it in the beginning, but the reason I love this battle is because something crazy happens that I've never really seen before at a place that I've never, like, you would just never expect. But thankfully, the knights have moved out of the way. That has kind of opened the floodgates for my troops to charge around these guys defending the walls. It's still going to be a tough fight because these are dismounted Flemish men-at-arms, high period. They're very, very powerful, very strong. So I'm doing the best I can to surround these guys and support them with archers. The knights are now going to countercharge. They don't like that, so they're going to come in here. But now I've got 3 units in reserve. This, again, my dismounted knights here. Imperial Knights, so I'm going to quickly try to get them up the siege tower so I can countercharge their countercharge, and it's just turning into a big mosh pit of death for these walls. You can see the arrows flying overhead. Very cool. So yeah, very intense fight. Very, very intense fight. Let's go back over to the other side, see how this is progressing. Very slow over here with Brunswick. He's just taking his time, which is smart. He doesn't want to push too hard until I've kind of broken through my front line, you know, or the enemy's front line. But this is really intense over here with Nico's side, the Kingdom of Jerusalem. Nice little flanking charge by the defenders, hitting the back of these Order swordsmen. I think Nico just needs to kind of consolidate his forces here and try to defend as many flanks as possible. But yeah, this is just a really hard-fought battle going on for this side. And they're just fighting to the bitter end. So yeah, very, very interesting. Let's go back over to this side. More breaking going on. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that we had these troops surrounded and these guys are breaking. There you can see I destroyed the tower in the background with my artillery. Just wanted to, you know, try to save as many lives as possible. I honestly thought this battle would be over by now. This, like, opening battle for these walls. But these damn... I mean, the Flemish men-at-arms, man, they are tough. And I'm just having a tough time against them. Now I'm sending in my knights. You can see them here, my dismounted Imperial Knights, and they should be able to slice down those soldiers. I do have some swordsmen over here kind of forming up a shield wall, just preventing France from being able to send in any more reinforcements to this fight. And yeah, I'm just pouring in more and more of these soldiers, just finally defeat these guys. So yeah, Flemish, man, they put up a solid fight. Archers trying to get in position. I'm going after his archers. He's going after my archers. He's got a ton of archers in the center. So I was trying to focus a lot of arrows over here because they were so blobbed up. So if we could land a couple hits. I think Brunswick was also doing the same with his longbows. But look at the shields on the back of these guys. This is so cool. I love these shields. Very awesome. But look at this, more breaking on my end. And I'm now sending some knights through the siege towers again to try to surround the swordsmen or holding back my forces. And I didn't want to blob up too much here because this is going to be a great target for their archers to focus down. And I do not want to lose my knights to archer fire. So that's going on. Brunswick broke through this little choke point here. Back this way. Nico's still fighting the good fight, man. He is... Oh, nice. Nice little delayed reinforcement of spears. They're going to actually be able to surround the enemy. But he's got to kind of close the gap here because these crossbows could really chop down these spearmen. So let's see what happens here. Ooh, they break. Oh, nice. They're breaking through. And now another general coming down. Nico really had you know, quite the force he had to take on here. And the constant general charging is, I'm sure, very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. But yeah, the Order Swordsmen doing what they can. And there we go, another gruesome fight. The general is now falling back, it looks like. He doesn't want to get stuck in combat. You definitely don't want to lose your general so early on as a defender. There we go, more spears getting into position. These spears coming around this way. So it looks like Nico's finally getting a handle of things. He's starting to get a foothold. It's still, I mean, it's still tough though. Still a lot of breaking. You can see his archers firing, trying to support the troops here. He's got the foot Turcopoles, which are, I think, pretty solid. They're tier 1 archers, so we'll see. I mean, archers are archers. As long as they can get some arrows in the enemy, you know, that's what they just need to do. And back over here, I'm still fighting the good fight. Still trying to break down these enemies. Got some archers up here. I didn't even mean to send the archer. Oh, the artillery! Oh, man, a really good hit there, too. That's going to cause a lot of fear in my ranks. And look at this, the heat, the fire. Very, very frustrating. Very frustrating situation. And I'm having to pull out some of my troops because I do not want them to clump up and die to that artillery. But I just can't break these guys. They just will not break. Now, what I was saying earlier about these archers, I didn't even mean to send up here. They just on their own used the siege tower, went up here. So I'm like, you know what? I'm behind the enemy. Let me use some fire arrows to try to quickly break these guys. But they are open to attack, and I'm surprised that they didn't get charged by this early period swordsman. But finally, we have the Flemish sending in the Brotherhood of St. George, and they're going to go in and probably attack my archers. I kind of knew that was coming, so I'm charging up my archers to try to delay that as long as possible. More artillery coming down. It's a gruesome fight for these walls, man. So many men died defending or attacking this wall. I mean, not only in this area, but also in the outskirts with archers. You know, archers dead here. Not a ton, but I've also focused down some of their archers over on this side. You can see the fallen soldiers here. So it was just a gruesome fight, beginning to end. My archers are getting focused down now. Still have not broken these soldiers. Ridiculous. And back here, Brunswick has taken on some spears. I think some French spears here. Got some vegetation in the way. It's hard to see. And let's see how Nico's fights go. Look at Nico, man. Still just fighting the good fight. Now, Nico, he actually has a pretty challenging spot where he's attacking because the secondary walls are so close. You know, and the enemy's doing what they should. They've got their archers on the secondary wall and supporting the fight over here. Look at this. Oh, firing at the backs of these spearmen. But he's kind of got the enemy surrounded, which is great. But of course, he's outflanking their flank. So yeah, look at this. This is insane. Oh my god, that's so cool. This is a cool shot. That is a really cool shot. Oh my god. I love that. It looks so real. And there goes more artillery. Oh no. Focusing down Brunswick's reserves there. It's a smart target. I've got my archers up on the walls now. We finally have secured the opening walls, but it's not over yet, and I'm trying to get my knights out of there because they are weak to archer fire since they don't have any shields. So I need to try to keep my distance. But it seems like the Flemish are not giving up quite yet. They might want to do a push here, or it looks like they're going to do a push to try to reclaim the outer walls with the Brotherhood of St. George. We'll see, or maybe he's just holding a defensive line here. But I saw that and I was like, oh, you want to wrestle? You want to wrestle? All right, let's send in these knights. They're using fire arrows on them. Like, screw you, but my archers break, unfortunately. God, the enemy archer fire is brutal. My poor Imperial Knights have seen so much. But that's all right. That's what they're trained for. Look at the officer. Or is that the officer? Just look at him covered in blood. I will bring down your scum. See, I think the officer's still alive. Yeah, here he is. I don't know if that's the same one because there's so many that look like him. Let's watch him a little bit. Oh, look at oh, he's in the bush. Oh, come on, dude. There you go. He got a kill. He's like, yes. That's so awesome. Man, Holy Roman Empire, they're just badass. Their uniforms, the sigil, you know, the eagle they have. It's just awesome. The black and yellow. Gold. Very cool color scheme. Yeah, but I wish I could see the general a little bit better. But, like, out of the entire unit, he's, like, the only one in the bush. There he goes. Look at him. Right in the front line, fighting with his men. He leads through example. Look, look at, oh, man. The standard bearer with the horns. He's like, you will not harm my officer. It's like, you do well. You're doing well, Frederick. These are the moments I just love in Total War. Absolutely love them. I would love to just sit and watch this soldier fight, but we must go and look at other parts of the battle where we have broken through the town center. We are now capturing this point. You can see their defense is really light over here, and I think that's why they're sending over more troops. Dismounted French knights coming over to continue to support. I'm using my archers to focus down the French archers, just trying to get them to use up their ammo. That's the key there. It's just getting them to use up their ammo. So late game, we're not dealing with a bunch of archers full of ammo and just slaughtering our troops from afar. Nico still fighting the glorious fight over here. Does he still have reserves? Oh, he still has a couple troops here in reserve. I mean, sure, he's low on troops, but he also caused the enemy to exhaust a lot of their troops as well. So it's a pretty even trade over here, I think, from this fight. And I think Nico is, well, he needs to send up the reinforcements, and I think he can still. Oh, he's got another one over here, and these guys are halberds. They're gonna do great. I like the fact that he is holding back in reserve. Halberds are really good late game to push into the inner choke points of this, you know, the town center. But you can see, look at this. They've got spears over here. They're really concerned about this fight over here. That's really surprising. You know, I would dedicate one spear, but not three. But I guess they're really worried about us flanking that way. But at this point, if I was the defenders, I'd be like, yeah, they're probably not going to go that way. You know, at least not with infantry. The archers are slaughtering my knights. It's a really sad sight. Look at these arrows. Look at this. Oh. So I'm going to go ahead and give them the honorable death. Charge them in. Not let them sit there, or they're just going to get evaporated. Charge! Charge, man. Oh, God. These arrows. There we go. Maybe we'll cause a little friendly fire if they keep firing at us. So while that's going on, Mr. Brunswick's army is very healthy. My army's pretty spent. Nico's army's pretty spent. I still have some Imperial Knights here, so I still have some good units. We surrounded these French Knights. And yeah, I love the fact that the defenders are still fighting for this little courtyard here. So I love the fight in these defenders. Like, they're not just, you know, they're not just giving up. And even if they lose an area, they come back and try to take it. There we go. We kind of soften up these guys a little bit, but there's still most of their reserves are in this area. Plus with these spears, lots of archers with plenty of ammo. That's going to be really, really difficult to deal with. But yeah, very cool. How are my knights doing? My last unit of knights, basically. Is this the officer? Oh, God, look at this guy. Oh, he got pushed back. Come on. Come on, get back in the front line. You can hear people just yelling, die, die, die. Oh my God. Somebody was beheaded there. So very, very fierce fight for this town center. Let's see what's going on here. Mr. Brunswick pushing right down the center with his foot knights. And there's really not much resistance. I mean, it seems like they've dedicated most of their infantry. I would say most of their army is now, like, I would say like, what, 70% archers. So that's good, but it could also be bad. Because if we don't go in and push and break through what's left of their infantry and try to surround those archers could rack up a ton of kills and break our forces. I've seen it happen many times. So it's really, really important that we get aggressive here and we push them back to their town center and we try to break through one of these choke points to kill their archers. There we go. Nico able to take that one. Very nice. Now he's storming in his halberds and whatnot into this fight. Now, let's do some slow motion here real quick and just kind of analyze the battle so far. So, Nico had a very tough fight. I mean, look at the carnage on the battlefield. Very, very tough. He lost a lot of his troops, but he still has very important troops left over, like halberds, archers, lots of archers, artillery even. He's got his general. That's really good. Brunswick still has a ton of reserves. So that's extremely good. Now, me over here, I've lost a lot. Fighting for this. The same thing like Nico's side. Lots of carnage here. I mean, look at the death here of this battle. It's insane. But yeah, it was a very difficult situation, but we've broke through and kind of Mr. Brunswick's probably got to be the finisher here. You know, his army's got to go in with this healthy numbers and settle this battle once and for all. Also, guys, this cav still hanging out over here. Still hanging out. And I think they were hidden at this point, because I don't remember seeing them. Still have my pikes over here, so that's good. I've moved up my artillery inside the settlement, so I don't have to worry about the cav really too much, as long as I have a unit in reserve watching the rear, you know, this gate here. Look at this, some swordsmen charged in. I charged them with my knights. So yeah, I'm gonna get them out of there. There we go. And they got more. Look at this, they just won't. I mean, I'm really surprised that they're being so aggressive like this. You know, trying to defend these parts of the city. I'm surprised they didn't just fall back. Oh my god, this guy got wrecked. I don't think he's dead, but he got wrecked. Let's see if he gets up here. Maybe he's playing dead. Oh, there he goes. Dude, you're crazy. Now you're behind enemy lines. Look at him. Look at him. Oh, no. Oh, he's dead. And they're falling back, which is a smart move, but now their backs are turned to the archers. And this unit's already pretty weak to archer fire since they don't have shields. But we're gonna keep chasing them down. And I surround them with the cav. That was gruesome. Gruesome. Oh my god, that's so cool. The arrows, though, did a lot of damage to my cav. Very, very unfortunate to see my knights get chewed up like that. So what I do here is I try to protect them quickly and hug this wall. But watch. So I'm hugging this wall. I think this is as close as I could get. The arrows still. I mean, look at how these arrows have to fall. I was so upset. I was like, I cannot believe he's landing these shots, and they slaughter my cav. Just slaughter them. Good god. Look at all these archers. Artillery now firing. So they saved some of their artillery. Very smart by them. We're using our archers to soften up their pikes here, which is exactly what we need. I've now fallen back the pikes, and Brunswick has his cav over here. So what is Brunswick sending up? He's got some knights, high period knights. Yes, the units are rallying. Their pikes are pretty much evaporated here. Oh, just a stack of them right there. There we go. Just, for pity's sake, save your pikes. There's one pikeman, and he even has an arrow in his arm. Oh, God. So that's their pikes, and now's the time to rush in. They're desperately trying to send up more spears. These were the spears that were holding this bridge, now having to be dedicated over to this side. The foot knights getting sprayed there a little bit with arrows. Nico now pushing on this front, which is great, putting pressure on this side. Oh my god, okay, this is funny. These troops have invisible torsos. Look at this. Look, what in the world? Talk about my immersion. Wraiths here or something. So goofy looking. I don't know why the textures just haven't loaded in. Or maybe I just forgot something when I installed the mod, which is hard to believe because you'd think it wouldn't be compatible with the other players. But yeah, Hopefully we kill them soon, because that's really killing my immersion. We're pushing on this flank. Again, trying to push on many flanks as possible. So yeah, charging in as many knights as possible. So, okay, this is remember how I said at the beginning of the battle there's something that's really cool that happens? It's this right here. You're probably looking at it like, why is this really interesting? This two cav units fighting. But this battle becomes one of the most important battles of the overall battle, of the siege battle. And you'll see why very, very soon. So, yeah, Brunswick, the English taking on the French here. Classic rivalry. Classic rivalry. And now we have the general over here, who's thinking about going in. Which, look at the general. Oh my god, that's such a cool looking unit. But yeah, he's kind of watching the fight out there. We're fighting the good fight over here. Still trying to push in against these invisible torso men. General trying to run around. I was trying to get this general with my cav. With my general. Because my general's still, you know, still healthy. He's got full bodyguard. So I'm just going to run around. Try to look for weak points in their army. Maybe charge down some archers with my general. If anything's, you know, anything like that is possible. But this is when, look at this. This is when we see their cav. You see these generals? This becomes a battle of generals. Now we have the French general charging over to support his men. Nico has dedicated cav now. The Templar Knights to support Mr. Brunswick. So, oh, actually the French general decided to fall back. Look at that. So Nico's now going to dedicate some cav over there to help with that battle. There we go. These Kievian nobles have broken our troops. My archers have pretty much used up all their ammo. Just getting the last couple volleys. Look at that. That looks so cool. Going in after their archers. Getting some last minute kills there. And now I'm going to have to use my archers as melee. I mean, that's really what I'm down to. I've lost a lot of my troops. Artillery still alive, still kicking. The Culverine, it's not a great artillery for getting good angles, you know, but I'll do the best I can. Brunswick has moved up his artillery, but got really frustrated because the enemy artillery was just focusing down his. And, yeah, you can see a little bit of an artillery off. But, yeah, we're pushing up here with some swordsmen. Trying to get through. I still have my pikemen, so that's my last true infantry. And the pikemen are going to be really, really important in this fight. Let's see if... nope, Nico's still making his way. He's actually under fire. How is that possible? It says he's under fire. I don't know how. But okay. And now the two generals, they see the cav reinforcements go into that cav battle. And they're going to send their generals over to join in this fight. So you can see how this fight, it started with like kind of two random cav units, but ended up, or is currently snowballing to be a general battle, like a battle of generals. So this is something I've never really seen before. A fight that's like all the way on the opposite side of this map. And this cav fight is just getting bigger and bigger and becoming more and more important. So hilarious. It's awesome. So yeah, this is my general kind of lurking over here, trying to find an opportunity to run down either their generals or something. And there they go. They charge in their general after my archers. That's okay. Archers here just kind of absorb that mostly. I'm going to charge my general, try to get his general. But unfortunately, he's going to be able to pull out of there very quickly. And I'm just going to make a little lap here. And keep keep my general away from his archers. Which, of course, look at that. He's going to try to turn and fire at him. And he is. General, please get out of there. All right, let's go back over to the cav battle because the Templar have joined this fight now. The Templar, or the English Knights, I think were losing to the French. But now that the Templar are here, it's much more closer. But here comes the generals now. We got the Kievian general going in. And then we also have the French general kind of taking his time here. early period though. But yeah, he's going to be able to charge in his general. So it's a really even battle, very close battle. Now Mr. Brunswick is sending in his general. He's sending in the King's Bodyguard. So yeah, it's becoming hilariously important over here. Very nice move here by the French. He's not going to just charge in like randomly. He's looking for a good spot to charge. Try to surround our cav. So yeah, he's sending in his general, and now guess what? I've decided to send my general over to that side of the battle. Let's get him to help. And look at my general. Come on, guys. He's the best looking general. Look at him. Look at this guy. He is the baddest of the bad. So yeah, he's going in. So let's do some normal speed. Brunswick pushing really hard, trying to get in here in their settlement. Nico still pushing on this flank. He's got his archers supporting wherever he can, laying down a ton of archer fire. Oh my god, and we have another general. Look at this. The Flemish are now sending their general over to this fight. That is hilarious. It's become a battle of generals on the opposite side of the map. I don't know why this is. To me, this is extremely bizarre and unique, and that's why I especially love this this battle. An enemy general has fallen in this cav battle. That's huge right there. Looks very, very good. My general's still making his way. He's catching up, though. He wants a piece of that action. He wants to help his fellow general allies. King's Bodyguard making his way. It's still, I think, a losing battle for us. The Flemish they're going to be there very soon as well. And he's got 40 out of 50 men. We're still fighting the good fight over on this side. He looks like he's got some billmen. And then I've got my pikes. My pikes actually joined the battle over here. They slaughtered the spears. Kind of missed it because we're so focused on that cav battle. But now the pikes are, I mean, pikes are going to be tough to stop here. And there they go. They're pushing in. Push, man. Push. I have to be really aggressive with my pikes so their archers don't soft them up too much. They're also mixed in here with some English foot knights, so that's a nice combo. Archers now going into melee. But yeah, here we go, guys. Look at this. More generals charging in. Emperor's Bodyguard. Here comes the Flemish. I think they're waiting for an opportunity to charge in. The general, see who's this? Oh, Kiev's general is dying. I go in. I just quickly get my men into the mix. Flemish make a smart move here, trying to get behind us. I should have done that as well, but I just wanted my general to charge in. We're breaking another general, which is the French general. So this has become a battle of generals, a battle of kings, a siege of kings outside the very far. I mean, look how far away they are of the settlement. They've got no idea who's winning over there as these generals fight. You know, like if this was real life, they have no idea if they're winning or losing, but this is an important battle nonetheless. And we just barely get the edge here against the enemy, and we are breaking a lot of their cav, and we should take that. There we go. Now we're taking on some axemen here, fighting these Kievan nobles, the floating nobles. And now the last of their defenses have fallen. We must charge aggressively against these archers, close the gaps. And now these are boyar sons, so they're actually really good at melee. So it's not going to be easy by any means. But the boyar son are intense. Now we have Nico. He broke through. Got some boyar sons. The last stand of the boyar sons. Look at all these axemen come in. Ooh, that artillery. You can see it's a pretty fierce group of guys here pushing to take this city. The archers are about to be destroyed. And there we go. We're victorious over here. I'm still chasing down a general, making sure he doesn't try to capture him, ransom him, get some money out of that. There we go. Here comes the pikes. My pike's coming around this way. So yeah, you can tell it's pretty clear that we're gonna win this one. Now I do want to make it clear, guys. The balancing in 12-12 is not balanced. It's not. It's off, right? So the attackers have too large of a advantage, and I feel like this would have been an even closer battle if it was more fair, because I think to make 12-12 balanced, the attackers have to leave like 500 to 1,000 gold left, not spend all of their money, because they get a huge advantage. Now you can watch this live, and you'll see the first battle where we attack we defend, and we get obliterated. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm only uploading this because I won. The reason I'm uploading this rather than the other one is because the other one wasn't even close. It wasn't even like, it was like from the start you knew it was over. You knew there was no way of winning it. So this one was much closer, and of course you got the really epic general battle over here, which was so cool. But yeah, if you watch the live version, you'll see how unfair it is for the defenders. It's like impossible. So I think we need to come up with our own rules here to make it more fair. That or 12-12 just needs to balance their game here a little bit. But yeah, it was a tough attack though, nonetheless, even though we had a pretty huge advantage. Pretty massive advantage. And look at these boyar sons. They're still fighting, man. The general's fallen. Maybe they haven't gotten word of that yet because it was so far away. I mean, from this point of view, to see where the generals are fighting, way down there. That's crazy. That's just so crazy. That is awesome. There we go. We're charging in our cav. Gonna send in the generals to, like, it's like all the forces in this battle knew the generals were fighting out there. And then like one of the defending, forces are like, look, the generals are back. And then like a few moments later, he's like, his heart sinks because he sees that it's the enemy generals and that they've lost the fight and the siege is lost. Stuff like that, man. Such a nerd. I love the role playing in these games. But yeah, we're charging in, and we got to clean up the last of this couple units here. Got these axemen who should break soon. Yeah, there they go. There's 10 seconds left in the battle replay, so this one's gonna be wrapped up here very soon. There we go. That's gonna be it. Pyrrhic victory for me. I lost a lot. The Flemish put up one hell of a fight, and his archers gave me hell. But Brunswick, since he didn't really have to take on too many people here, his forces were very healthy, and just nothing could really stop his army at the end of this battle. So let's look at the results here and see what's going on with the kills. So my knights did pretty well. The mountain knights, my dismounted knights did well as well. Could have done better. Pikes did great. A lot of my swordsmen could have done better. My archers doing pretty solid, except for this one, 40 kills, not that great. So pretty even spread. Brunswick got a lot of kills with his archers, pretty good kills with his infantry there. And then Nico getting a ton of kills with his archers, great kills with his infantry as well. So if you look at the Flemish, look at the kills on these archers. Actually not as crazy as I thought it was going to be, but they still racked up a ton of kills. And his infantry here, these were the 3 men-at-arms high period. Woof, they got a lot of kills, Surprisingly, his Flemish knights did not do so well. Not nearly as good as the Flemish men-at-arms. And then we have the French here. Here's his kills. And then we have Unclutch, by the way, and Loken leading the Flemish. And then we have Armored Scarab. So he was playing as Kiev. So yeah, very awesome. And again, thank you to the players in this. They were very cool guys. And if you want to join my Discord, and I mean that's how you play with me in these battles, play with or against in these live battles, is just joining my Discord, and yeah, you'll see all the info about when I'm streaming, what game I'm playing ahead of time, so you can be ready for it. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this siege battle, and I will see you next time on the battlefield.